Hello, friends. I'm looking over there. I'll tell you why. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews. And, some of you said that you really enjoyed when I was doing random reviews. As I was unpacking, I would just snag three things and see what they were. And we could talk about them. Well, everything's in shelves, but it's still all out of order. So it's just as random as it was before. Some year I'll alphabetize it or start to, I just do it as the mood takes me. I'll put it together and start to move things where they relate to other things. And eventually it will all come together and I'll take the plunge and reassemble it. But until then, it's still random. And the reason I was looking over there is because I said to myself, what's a way to do random reviews? I have, in addition to all this stuff, there were a bunch of mini alphabets. You know how your shelves are full, or you have extra shelves, but you don't want to move everything down one space. It just drives you nuts, right? So you start a new alphabet, and then you start another new alphabet, and then you start another new alphabet. It doesn't really matter how many alphabets you have, as long as it's all in order. So I did have some shelving, which when they moved was already in alphabetical order, just by single shelves, A to Z or something like that. And that was over here. There we go. See that thing? This thing here? There we go. Where's my finger working? There. That. Okay, whatever. That's the shelf in question. It was already quasi-alphabetized, one shelf at a time. So I said to myself, let's do a random review. I'm going to take the last three discs from one of the shelves, end of the alphabet. So this is the end of the alphabet random review. I got a W, two W's, and a T. And that's what we got at the end of the alphabet on that one shelf. So it doesn't get much more randomly selected than that. The first disc, and this is all stuff, these are all keepers. This isn't stuff that I just had sitting there waiting to listen to or whatnot. These are things that I liked and wanted to hang on to. So the first was this wonderful disc of Ludwig Twee, or Tweedle, or however you pronounce his name, his Sextet in B-flat major for piano and winds, which is wonderful. And his piano quintet in E-flat major, opus 20, which is also a major work, 43 minutes long. Tweedle was a good composer. He was a real Tweedle. I mean, how do you pronounce this guy? Who cares? He was a Munich composer, contemporary of Richard Strauss. His dates were 1861 to 1907. In other words, he fit inside Mahler's life, because Mahler was 1860 to 1911. And he wrote a lot of music. And it's really a very high quality, slightly maybe a little on the conservative side, but also tending toward the Straussian, post-Wagnerian. I mean, he was not anachronistic. Let's put it that way. And the music is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. This sextet in B-flat for piano and winds is one of the great works for piano and woodwind, and it's just a delight from second to last. I just love the work. I mean, I like the combination of piano and winds anyway, like the Poulenc Sextoire and those pieces. They're wonderful. So yeah, it's great stuff. Then we have the piano quintet, which is a big, passionate, it's got a 15-minute long adagio, but beautiful, good tunes. It's just wonderful music. And these are very good performances with the Chantily Quintet, Gianluca Luisi piano, and the Gigli Quartet, the Gigli Quartet, as we say, en anglaise, in Anglese, whatever. So this is on Naxos, and this was the first of the three that I really enjoyed. Next, oh yeah, classic, Walton. This is a reissue on the Alto label. Very, very good price of some classic Waltonia. You get Facade with Anthony Collins conducting. It was in the Anthony Collins Decca box, but you can get it separately, cheapy cheap, which is a good idea. Facade with the authoress of the poems, Dame Edith Sitwell, and Peter Pears, actually speaking instead of singing. Although, his detractors would say it really wouldn't matter whether he was speaking or singing because it sounded the same either way. She had a very interesting voice. In the early springtime, after their tea, Jemima, Jocasta, Dinah, and Deb walked with their father, Sir Joshua Jebb. Anyway, it's great. It's a classic Facade with, the sort of reference people facading, and it's really great. It's really great. I just love it. I love it. And you also get here from 1940 something, It says here 44. Music and scenes from Henry V with Laurence Olivier and the Philharmonia Chorus and Orchestra and William Walton. Do they even exist in 44? I don't think so. But, well, what the hell. It's really, really wonderful. Yes, recorded in 1944. That's what it says. So there you go. A wonderful Walton disc. Budgy stuff. Historical recording of major importance. And I love Facade. Don't you love Facade? It's so much fun. It's one of the few combinations of spoken word and music that I find tolerable, because the words are so deliciously wacky and eccentric, and so is the music. It's just a fun. It's billed in entertainment, and that's what it is, entertaining. So there's that one. It's number 2. Number 3. Oh, this is a Koch recording. You may be able to find it still. Koch, remember them? Of Franz Waxman stuff. And Franz Waxman wrote, a limited number of non-film score things, more than we think. And this has a whole bunch of them. I mean, this is really great. You've got Guyana, 4 sketches for piano solo, percussion, and string orchestra with Christina Ortiz. This is wonderful music, by the way. The Charm Bracelet for chamber orchestra. Sinfonietta for string orchestra and timpani. Tristan and Isolde Love Music, arranged for violin and piano. This was arranged for Jascha Heifetz, but he never recorded it. So here we have it admirably performed by Mark Kaplan and Christina Ortiz. The Introduction and Scherzo for cello and orchestra. And one of the funniest pieces of music ever written, his Auld Lang Syne Variations for string orchestra, violin, and piano. It's originally written for piano quintet. You can get it either way, or piano quartet. You can get it either way, like I said, in the chamber original or this. It's hysterically funny. It's variations on Auld Lang Syne, as would have been done by Bach, Mozart, Beethoven, and Shostakovich. And it's just wonderful. Absolutely a scream. If you don't know it, you got to hear it. Then we've got a little bit of the Romanian Rhapsody No. 1 by Ionescu, arranged for violin and orchestra. These were arrangements he made for various film projects. And so, they have an independent existence. And the Carmen Fantasy for trumpet and orchestra. It also exists for violin and orchestra, but this is the version for trumpet and orchestra, and it's just splendid. Waxman, his own style sounded something a little bit like Shostakovich, and naturally, that was kind of his spiky tonal idiom sort of thing. But this is just a gem, this disc. If you can get it used, maybe we can download it still. Maybe it exists somewhere. You really should hear it, because it's absolutely marvelous. And those, my friends, are 3 random reviews from the end of the alphabet. Walton, Waxman, and Ludwig Twee. Thuille, whatever his name is. Just great stuff. So keep on listening, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.